This is Liberty Block, semi-live from Nevermindwhere, USA. Liberty is always relevant here. God bless our troops. Follow or subscribe if you never want to miss a beat. Drop a comment if you have something to say. Like and comment, hell yeah, if you're a blockhead. And of course, sharing is caring. Part 1 of this series, The Purge, was about who Trump removed. This one's about who's coming in, Part 2. The media, social included, and most of the press loves the idea that Trump is stuffing the Pentagon with untested loyalists. The reality is a lot more specific. He's promoting already senior-level generals and admirals with careers that have been going on forever, and they align with his thinking. This is a deep dive into the generals and admirals that he's promoting and bringing in, how they've been chosen, and the debate behind DEI and readiness. First, let's be clear, these are not junior officers vaulted into power, PFC Loudon Downey from A Few Good Men. These are 3- and 4-star generals and top admirals who have commanded units, shaped doctrine, and run major Pentagon offices. They've been in the military for years at the command level. Again, they've been vetted through a standard promotion process. What isn't changing is the rank of the people that's being picked. It's the philosophy and the priorities they're known for. Trump and Hegseth have been more than clear about what they want. Fewer bureaucratic stand-downs, more emphasis on combat readiness, less administrative focus, and a more aggressive, lenient stance on Iran, Venezuela, and other hotspots. It's the Department of War, for Christ's sake. DEI versus readiness. The way this is being framed in the press, social, and the mainstream media is quite simple. Critics say that this Trump dismantling is about diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and replacing them with something they would call militarized nationalism. Well, I disagree with the latest leftist buzzword. I'd say the Pentagon had become too focused on internal culture and not enough on warfighting, and the reshuffle is about restoring traditional readiness to fight. That's their job. At the core of this shakeup is power and priorities. Trump didn't just remove generals. He's trying to update the collective worldview with one that's more aligned with what he thinks. War first, readiness above all, and a leadership that isn't afraid to escalate. The replacements, again, they're not green. They're just policy aligned. And here's the part that just doesn't get enough attention. Many of the generals Trump brought in have had strong combat records and have served in multiple theaters. They're not political novices. They're not untested ideologues. They're not just loyalists. They're part of an already established worldview that Trump takes pride in, one that he agrees with. They're more comfortable with Trump's leadership style, his rhetoric, and his willingness to push the envelope. Last point. The Green Generals narrative is not only misleading, it's just plain lazy. It's a way to dismiss the entire reshuffle without actually looking at the careers of the people who have been brought in. Trump isn't inventing new generals out of thin air. He's selecting them from a narrow pool of established senior officers, an aligned pool. That is an important distinction. So what does this all mean? It means that the real question isn't whether Trump is burying the military in loyalty. It's whether he's building a more obedient military and a more capable one. The generals he's bringing in are aligned with his policies. They are experienced. They are high-ranking officers with leadership credibility. They're not incompetent. They're just more aligned on policy than the ones he's removed. That is the nuanced truth behind the DEI and readiness debate. The media loves to frame this as a culture war, and maybe part of it is. But the real story is about who controls the military's top layer and whose priorities it reflects. This is Liberty Block, and I yield back the balance of my time. God bless everyone.